Well, ladies and gentlemen, the schizophrenic weather continues. Today is a balmy 65 degrees in the New York metropolitan area. Tomorrow it's going to be right back where we started, in the 40s, I think, or the 30s. Zat Hashem, soon it should be warm on a consistent basis. Hopefully when the military stops messing with the weather via their wonderful HARP machine. And you know that stuff's right. You know I am not. So, guys, I really want to get into this whole thing of Putin, or I'm going to pronounce it correctly, Putin. And if no, it's not Putin, Putin. Can you say it? Say it with me now. Putin, Putin, Putin. Just keep practicing. I know it's hard for you guys. I know you guys are Americans. You don't linguistically challenged people. Putin. P-O-O-T-I-N, but the T is like T. Soft. We have a soft sound in Russian. Putin. I know a lot of people have been saying that Putin. Just sound it out. Putin. Okay? They think that Putin is Hitler. My friends, I'm telling you this as a person who was born in Lvov, whose grandfather lost his first family in Berdichev, Ukraine, to, Ukrainian politsai, combined with the Nazis. I'm telling you guys honestly, from the bottom of my heart, that Putin is not Hitler. He is not Hitler. First of all, guys, when you call Putin Hitler, you're basically insulting the intelligence of the Jews, and yes, I'm going to state a fact right now, the Jews who live safely at the moment and comfortably in Russia. Yes, guys, if you don't understand that this is like a reality, this is a reality. Secondly, guys, I'm not here to defend Putin. I'm not here to whitewash him. I'm just here to give you facts. I'm all about just the facts, ma'am. You guys ever see the show Dragnet? Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. I'm into the truth. I'm into facts from all perspectives. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not here to be a media mouthpiece or parrot popular or, mainstream talking points. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to make you think. I know you're not taught to think. I know most people are not taught to think. I'm here to make you think. That is it. I'm here to give you something that makes you think maybe a little bit, not too much, a little bit in the abstract, a little bit outside the box that the media has you running around in circles thinking in. That's it. And no, I'm also not here to, there's a lot of people, guys, who are also linear in their thinking about, the World Economic Forum, and that is, that Putin is against them. Guys, it's not that linear. It's not so simple, okay? But before I go on about that, I'm just going to tell you, Putin was raised by Jewish people. Essentially, he was raised by Jewish people. He had a Jewish judo teacher. He had a Jewish teacher. These people turned him into a human being. Okay? He doesn't hate Jews. He doesn't hate Israel. He owns an apartment in Tel Aviv. He bought it for his teacher. So to call him Hitler, if you want to call him something, based on what he's doing right now, militarily, you can easily call him Rommel. Or you can call him any one of Hitler's generals who orchestrated the Blitzkrieg. You can do that. You will be fully correct in your assessment. But to call him Hitler, guys, people don't have a concept of history. They do not. They really do not. Anybody you don't like is Hitler. Guys, and I just want to say, there's more to this whole thing than meets the eye. What you guys don't really understand, that Putin is at the end of the day, a KGB guy. And you know what KGB people are good at? They're good at turning their enemies into their friends. Or, so to speak, not friends, but at least they're good at weaponizing their own enemies. What do I mean by that, guys? Okay. Guys, you know that in Ukraine, there is a guy with whose last name, I forget his first name. His last name is Tchernybok. Or, as they pronounce it in Ukrainian, Tchernybok. I don't know how to pronounce it. This Tchernybok, he is the leader of the Svoboda Party, the Freedom Party in Ukraine. It is a nationalist party, supposedly that doesn't like Jews, that doesn't like Russians, only likes Ukrainians. Okay, and they have managed to get 5% of the seats in the Rada, in the Ukrainian parliament. All right. Little do you guys know that this Tchernybok's mother is a Jew, allegedly, supposedly. This supposedly Jew-hating person, his mother is a Jew. On top of that, ladies and gentlemen, that Putin sends money to this Tchernybok to do what? To rabble-rouse in Ukraine and give the impression that there is a bigger Nazi nationalist or ultra-right nationalist presence in Ukraine than there actually is. There is a presence, but he's given money by Putin to this Tchernybok, more money to rabble-rouse. And through whom? Who is the conduit that the money is passed through? A gentleman by the name of Michael Friedman, owner of Alpha Bank. Yeah. See, we have that soft sound, not alpha. Yeah. That's why Russians, when they try to say the word kol, in Hebrew, they ended up saying kol, because we have that soft sound at the end, after the L's. Okay? Alpha Bank. So this CEO of the Alpha Bank, this Michael Friedman, who makes his home in Moscow, Jewish guy, but who is originally from Lviv, or Lvov, if you're a Russian speaker, okay? Who sponsors every year, I don't know if he did it last year, but I know, as far as I know, he's been an avid sponsor of the Lvov Jazz Festival, okay? Who travels to Lvov on a regular basis. This head of Alpha Bank passes money to this Tchernybok from courtesy of Mr. Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, not everything is as it seems. The media, my friends, what I just told you, I'm not going to tell you how I know this. I'm just trust me when I tell you I know this. I have it on very, very good authority. The media, my friends, will never tell you this because they don't want you getting caught up in nuance and subtlety. They don't want you thinking. What they want you to do is, you guys ever see the movie Master of Disguise? This is what you're doing. This is what I want you to do. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen. Turtle. You know? They don't want you thinking, guys. They don't want you seeing all the little nicks and crannies of every little thing. Okay? Of every little situation. They want you to think linearly. Whether it's, yes, to get you to support unequivocally the government of Ukraine and to worship a man by the name of Zelensky, you know, to not look into his own misdeeds and other things and the rampant corruption that goes on in Ukraine, or on the flip side, they want you to think that everything, you know, they want you to think that everything's also very simple when it comes to Russia and Ukraine. You know, here you have the Russian speakers and this and that, ladies and gentlemen, and they're all nationalists, ladies and gentlemen. Even these nationalists, okay, in Ukraine, they're Jews. You understand? They are Jews, my friends. But this is the point. But it's also not about only the World Economic Forum and versus Putin. It's really not. My friend is saying Putin doing evil. He's doing what Stalin did. Putin is backing Iran. Iran is getting a deal. They're going to make nuclear weapons. Yeah, he's backing Iran. You know why he's backing Iran? Because Putin's entire thing is two things. First and foremost, money and power. He wants imperialism. He sees Iran as a big-ass threat, big threat to American imperialism and American hegemony. Okay? He's not backing Iran because he hates Israel. He knows, and you know how I know he knows? Because Bibi Netanyahu was talking to him for years and years and years, and Bennett is now talking to him, continuing that conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what that conversation consists of? If you use just a little bit of your seichel, just a tiny scotch of your critical thinking. What is that conversation? How does it go? Hi, how are you? My name is Vladimir Putin. I'm going to send weapons to Syria. Syria is going to send convoys to Hezbollah. We know that you're going to blow up the convoys, you Bibi or you Bennett at this point. And so, rinse, repeat. We're just going to keep sending more. They're going to keep giving us money with the petrodollars. And rinse, repeat. Ladies and gentlemen, that's basically it. You think Putin doesn't know that Israel can eventually just blow up or attack Iran, do tactical attacks on the nuclear facilities, and then Iran will come clamoring back to Russia and say, can you please continue, restart the building of whatever's not destroyed? Ladies and gentlemen, you think Putin doesn't know that? For him, this is a cash cow. This is a cash cow. As for doing what Stalin did, lady, you know what Stalin did? He killed 20 million of his own people. He was about to send Jews to camps. Like, I don't see Putin. I mean, he did something called a doctor's plot where he blamed doctors, Jewish doctors, for killing kids or whatever it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be real here. Let's just be real. Let's stop being emotional little babies. We're emotional babies. The media feeds us little baby food, little Gerber, little, like mashed up, all. They took information and they mashed it up. He killed more than Stalin. Lady, what are you talking about? Putin killed more people than Stalin. Putin killed 20 million people, right? I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. That's what I'm saying. It's baby behavior. We're a bunch of babies. And the media is like, here you go. Here's mashed up food so you can easily digest it, what we give you. You can't digest the nuance and the subtlety, and it's not even that subtle and not that nuanced, not that difficult. You can't digest this whole intrigue of this supposed nationalist being really a Jew and being paid by Putin to rabble-rouse, to pretend like there's Nazism in Ukraine, and being sent, money being sent by a Jewish guy, and this and that and the other. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, people would be like, interesting, that's interesting. They would be like, wow, so Putin is like a real KGB agent. Yes, we know he does things in his own country, but we don't realize that he does this kind of stuff. And we don't realize that these kind of nuances are happening in Ukraine. And they are. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to start thinking. We have to start researching. We have to start talking to people on the ground. We have to stop reading blue check marks. We have to stop reading headlines and sound bites and canned answers. And we have to realize that Biden himself in 1997 said, he said this. He said this. I'm not saying this. He said it in 1997 on C-SPAN. They have it. They have footage, guys. I just saw it today. That the thing that could provoke Russia, 1997, is if NATO expands to the Baltic states. Ladies and gentlemen, is he wrong? Was Biden wrong back when he was lucid before his dementia in 1997? He wasn't stupid. He was a very smart guy. He was a scumbag and an arrogant prick. Very smart. Ladies and gentlemen, very smart at that time. My friends, we just need to grow up. We've been babied, and we've been little babies for too long. We've been little babies watching the media for the past 20 years. We have no seichel. We consume social media. We consume, we look at Fox News and CNN, and then we say, oh, that's what they said. January 6th was insurrection. Oh, but the news said it. But it's this. If news didn't say it, didn't happen. It's a conspiracy. You're a conspiracy theory. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just like, grow up. Just grow up. I when I talk to people, I feel like I'm literally talking to like little children. I feel like little children have more seichel than most people today. Yes, during Stalin's rule, he sent people. Yes, Stalin. You said no. Stalin killed more. You said he killed more than the Stalin. Who killed more than Stalin? Unless you I misread you. You misspoke. I don't know. Yes, Stalin sent 20 million. Yes, to camps in Siberia. I know that. Yes, Putin was nowhere to be found. He was not alive at that time, or maybe he was just born. He was a little baby at that time. My friends, we need to grow up. We need to start looking at things from an adult lens. We need to start to understand that whatever we see in the media is like 5% of the total picture of what's going on behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen. I used to work for an Israeli organization, an NGO, and whenever I wanted to post something about either Russia or Ukraine, I was told not to do that. Why? Because the organization, having been based in one of those countries, had what's called in Russian temi, themes, okay? Had themes, running themes with both regimes. So they didn't want me to post anything that would, draw the ire of either entities in those countries, ladies and gentlemen. They did not want me to do that. Because, as you can see, there are a lot of people who play both sides of the fence in all these different countries, my friends. And then there are spies, and then there are, agents, and then double agents and triple agents. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a guy today, we found out, yesterday, a guy who was supposedly on the Ukrainian side of things, supposedly was an agent for the Russians, and he was working internally on, in Zelensky's camp. And they killed this guy, I forget his name. They showed it, they killed him. They shot him. And I would bet you he's one of the people who's giving information to the Russians, who then send information to the Chechens, who's been trying to already, I think, 5 or 10 times, tried to kill Zelensky. Ladies and gentlemen, grow up. Grow up. Yeah, you want to say conspiracy theory, conspiracy this, conspiracy that. Ladies and gentlemen, people conspire. In the words of Dr. Zelenko, I'm a conspiracy realist. Okay? I'm not a conspiracy theorist. The only reason I know that, guys, is all of the things that you guys are seeing, these are things that people had in their minds, planned for years and years and years. Ladies and gentlemen, Putin is a judo, judaist, judo person. I don't know how to call it. Judoist. In Russian, we say judaist, a person who practices judo, who is involved in judo, the sport of judo. A judo person, athlete, does not go on the mat unless he knows exactly what he's going to do in the first 10 moves. Ladies and gentlemen, you think Zelensky didn't know what was coming? He had no intelligence, he had no communiques of what's coming, he didn't know? Ladies and gentlemen, come on. We're a bunch of babies. Everybody's so surprised. The people of Ukraine are being used as pawns, ladies and gentlemen. Ukraine is I hate to use the term, it's the whore of Eastern Europe. They have no money. People are blaming Zelensky for being with the World Economic Forum. Guys, I don't think he is. You know why? Because either he was going to cozy up to Putin, which he didn't want to do, or he's going to cozy up to Europe. He wants to be a part of Europe. He wants Ukrainians to be able to work in the EU so that they bring money back into Ukraine, into the economy of Ukraine. He wants to join the EU because Ukraine is stuck in no man's land, economically speaking. They're a very poor country, relatively speaking, for such a modern and modernized wannabe country. Guys, you go to Lvov, it's probably the most modern city in Ukraine. Modernized. To the point where nobody wants to bomb it because it's so beautiful and nice, and clean. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not so simple. We need to grow up. We need to stop thinking linearly from both sides of the equation. World Economic Forum and Zelensky, I don't know about that. and then Putin is, whatever. The people who hate Putin is, Putin is Hitler. Ladies and gentlemen, just grow up. Get some semblance of history. Get some semblance of nuance, of subtlety, of intricacy. Start looking at things with a microscope, with a fine comb. Stop watching CNN. Stop watching Fox News on the same token, on the other side of the equation. These people are trying to give you distilled ideas. Listen, NATO expanded. They weren't supposed to over the years. They were not supposed to. Yes, but on the same token, Putin is a piece of garbage. Yeah, he lies about what goes on in Ukraine. He lies about who Ukrainians are, whatever it is. He sends money to a guy to rabble-rouse and pretend like there's Nazism in Ukraine when there isn't. Yeah, they're using Ukraine as pawns. Ukrainian people. And Jews. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a message for you, for my fellow Jews. Just really, really stay out of it. Our sages tell us, our prophets tell us, just stay out of this. This is not our fight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not our fight. You can care about the people, support, but it's not our fight. Don't go fighting in a Ukrainian army with your beard and your kippah. Mr. Bennett, stop trying to mediate. Stick your big Jewish nose where it doesn't belong. I'm saying this as a fellow Jew. I'm not anti-Semite, Just so you understand me. Okay? We need to stop with this nonsense. Just let these people have it out. This is their thing. Now I heard, supposedly the Kremlin said that, if you to Ukraine, if you guys change your constitution and officially recognize Crimea in the constitution of Ukraine, that Crimea is Russian, and say, recognize that Luhansk and Donetsk are independent regions, nothing to do with Ukraine, we'll stop in a second. Are they being honest? I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, let these people do what they do. There's a lot of things going on. If you think that oligarchs in Ukraine don't have business in Russia, you're sadly mistaken. If you think that Russian oligarchs in Russia don't have business in Ukraine, you're sadly mistaken. If you think that there's a guy who's from Lvov, there isn't a guy from Lvov who has business in Moscow, who then sends money from Putin to a Ukrainian nationalist in Lvov, you're sadly mistaken. The world is not what the media shows you. The world is very complex, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm here to give you that wake-up call. Because I don't know, I haven't seen anybody else who will. Anyway, guys, I gotta go kosher some pots and pans. Baruch Hashem. Purify them. And, with everything I just said, we can see that Hashem is purifying the world. He's purifying us through, first we spent 2 years, with this disease, where the people, by the way, who have behaved like Goebbels and Mengele at us for 2 years are the same people that are calling Putin Hitler. That's rich. So we went through that. That's a purification. Now we're going through this. That's another purification. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to see everything from a bird's eye view. Yes, there's manipulations going on in the media. There is all kinds of fraud and all kinds of, hoax and shtick and Pallywood and Ukraine wood and Russia wood. Everybody's got their own wood. You know what I'm saying? Own version of Hollywood. All these different entities. A friend said at Shabbos, we have to believe no one because everybody's got propaganda. Ladies and gentlemen, it's true. I'm not. I ain't lying. Okay? So, let's just grow up and realize that Hashem is controlling this anyway, and it's much more complex than we see in the media, and that's it. Well, the chips fall where they may, guys. All right. I'll talk to you soon.